I'm joined now by that member of Congress, Cori Bush, a Democrat from Missouri, who, Congresswoman, thank you for joining us. You were camped out for a couple of nights on the Capitol steps. You've been leading the protest. You have a personal story, your own experience in the past with homelessness. So tell us why you're trying to dramatize this. I think I know, with your background, just how important this is to you.
Yeah, so we've been out here since Friday night. The hour before I decided, and I spoke with Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and just said, hey, what about let's just stay out here? Let's just, put up some chairs and just stay. And she said, like, okay, I'm down. The hour before that, I had no idea that that's what we would be doing. But the idea that we could go on recess and we could go on vacation as the House of Representatives while millions of people, upwards of 11 million people could end up being forced out of their homes. There was no way. My brain couldn't comprehend that. So being out here, being uncomfortable, being cold. It's been raining. We've been out here today is day 5. So I've slept out here for 4 nights, for 3 nights. The fourth night, Representative Ocasio-Cortez stayed in my stead. We switched off, but the rain falling on us, and this is the thing, when you're already cold and then it rains on you and the rain soaks your blankets and soaks your sleeping bags and then the ground is wet, what do? You're wet and now you're cold and there's no place to go to get warm. That is just so many things. That's why I have to speak up and speak out, because this is this is us being inconvenienced temporarily, but we're talking about people who will have to live this way if we don't do better. And we haven't fixed the housing crisis as of yet. We complain about it. We say we need to fix it, but we haven't met that need. How do we put more people out on the street? I understand what it's like to get that notice. I understand what it's like to sleep on the streets, and I would not allow anyone else to do it. Not while I'm sitting here in the U.S. House of Representatives and I keep my mouth shut. No way.
Well, let me ask you this, Congresswoman. There is tension, and it's not just from the progressive caucus of the Democrats. There is real tension now, clearly, between Nancy Pelosi's office and other Democrats with the White House, because the White House only first notified the House that this expiration could not be stopped by executive action on Thursday, the day before the House was leaving. The Senate's still in session. I haven't heard anything yet from the Senate Democrats who lead the Senate as to them taking it up. And Nancy Pelosi's position is that they're not going to take this up unless she knows that the Senate is going to try to do something, which they clearly don't have the votes for. So, how does anyone defend the system where this finger pointing going back and forth? Where was the White House, for instance, for weeks and weeks? They knew when this was supposed to expire.
Yes, so that's why today we have both the Speaker's office, my office, and then I know over the last few days there have been others from within Congress saying that we are asking the White House to go ahead and move forward with an eviction moratorium, because this need is urgent. This is an emergency right now in our country, and we can't wait any longer. And the time that it would take to get the House back and to vote, plus getting it through the Senate, that's going to take a while. Buy us some time to get that done. We know we have to get it done, but buy us some time. So we're asking the White House to go ahead and do this. If there's a court challenge, possibly, let's work on that when and if that happens. But right now, the people don't care about if something could possibly happen. And also, if something does, we have to look at the weight of it. Is it worse for the White House to get a court challenge, or is it worse for millions of people to hit the streets and have no home? I'm going to say it's the latter. There is no way that we could think about what's going to happen in court, a court challenge. If we have to take an L, take an L. But at least we did the work to make sure that we kept the people that we're supposed to represent, the people that are looking to us. They don't care about the blame game. They don't care who did what, when, and how. They care about right now. Today, there is a notice on my door saying pay or vacate, and I don't have the money. I don't know what to do. My state, my local government, I'm fighting to get those resources that I was told are available through the ERA. I'm having trouble. What do I do? Because my landlord does not care. That is what we have to deal with, and deal with it today because it's happening already.
And just to point out that the White House has said that their hands are tied because of a Supreme Court ruling, and you're saying just do something by executive action and then deal with the court deal later on. We've got to go. But Congresswoman Cori Bush, thank you so much for lighting a fire under this, because millions and millions of people are exposed.